saying look at this rock that juts out.
You notice kind of an interesting shape, right?
Yes, it is.
What does it remind you of?
Looks like Israel. Map of Israel.
A lot of people say that, you know. A lot of people say it looks like Israel. Now, maybe it looks like the state of Israel, but not really the biblical Israel, which is much larger than this. A lot of people tell me Israel. But I want you to notice this is kind of like a head, wide shoulders, that tapers with the feet, and becomes narrow at the end. Do you see that it's sort of the shape of a human body?
Yes.
It's a grave. Not a grave, because it's made out of stone. I know. 2 years ago, I had a sculptor that I gave a tour to, and he stopped at this rock. Yes. He said, "Wow, that's amazing." Huh. And I thought he meant the shape. I was waiting for him to say about the state of Israel or about the shape of a human body. But he'd been working with rock for 35 years. He was an expert in rocks. And he said to me, "Do you know what this is?" I said, "No." He said, "This is a conglomerate of rocks." And I said, "What's a conglomerate of rocks?" He said, "Usually a conglomerate happens on an ocean floor with a millennium of water weight pressing down on the rocks combine together, and lots of rocks make one rock." He said, "That's amazing. You have right here, there's no ocean bed anywhere nearby, you have a conglomerate of rocks." Now, he didn't have a keep on his head. He didn't say to me it can happen overnight if you happen to be Jacob. But we know, and the Meforshim explained to us, that Jacob gathered 12 rocks representing the 12 tribes before he went to sleep, and when he awoke in the morning,
they joined together.
Joined together to one, because 12 tribes make one.
So he may have rested here.
He might have rested on his human body shaped.
No, that's you should have said in the beginning.
No, I saved the best.
No. This is something you should say in the beginning. Wow, that's impressive. I like that.
I have here a satellite photo of the land of Israel. This was taken about 20 years ago by the American Army,
yes.
U.S. Army.
Yes.
North.
Isn't it
south,
upside down?
east,
It's upside
west.
down.
It is not upside down. This is north. But in the biblical time, you know, when we look at a map today, north is always the top of the map, right? Biblical times it was different. Kedma, which is east, that was the top of the map. So I'm going to turn it so that the east portion is on top. Okay. Now this is Jerusalem. It's kind of off the map. This is the Dead Sea. This is not a very good quality scan. Scan the map, but it's a big map with a small scanner, so I don't know.
See the ridges of the mountains in the middle.
This is Ramallah. Here's Beitel. And I want you to notice that the hills of Beitel, the valleys and the hills of Beitel, the shadows between the hills and the valleys of Beitel, form a word. See the Aleph? Here's a Lamed, a Vav, and a letter Hey. Well, you don't know how to read Hebrew, sweetheart, but I want you to believe me. These are 4 Hebrew letters, and they spell out the name of God. Aleph, Lamed, Vav, Hey.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Now, you know what's amazing about this? Because when God created the world, He created the mountains and the valleys. He stamped His name here, and nobody knew about it.
That's amazing.
We didn't have satellite technology. Our grandparents had no way of seeing this. This is a message to our generation. We have satellite technology. Wow. What is God trying to tell us when we look at the mountain range of Beitel and we see God's name?
Beautiful.
I can't tell you the answer. You know, we don't have prophecy anymore.
It's true.
Yes, you are a Jewish boy. You are a descendant of Jacob. You may sit on the rock. I always ask tourists, why do you think God stamped His name?
Oh my God, a big giant red ant.
Oh,
and I get lots of different and unusual and interesting answers. Some I find, you know, very deep. Some I find rather funny, like the lady who said to me, "So the aliens will know."
So the aliens will know.
Which I thought was a cute answer.
It's beautiful.
There are those that say that, I had one woman who told me about the gematria is 26 and the 26 letters in Shema, and she had a whole long explanation, which I don't recall. But there was one answer which a high school girl gave me, 10th grader, 15-year-old girl said, and I just loved it. It just resonated with me, and this is the one that I tell to groups. She said, God gave Jacob 4 promises, 4 blessings right here in Beitel. That's like a contract. What do you do at the bottom of a contract?
You sign it. Beautiful. Beautiful. I want to